life.
Buka dancer,
They push curing us.
buka dancer,
Corruption curing us.
buka dancer,
You must go away a story.
buka dancer,
But for they curing us.
buka dancer,
Business people crying.
buka dancer,
But for they curing us.
buka dancer.
Everybody vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba. Gone are the days when we talk on to fight. No food or eat, no shelter for us. Gone are the days when you felt we were stupid. Where is the country? Where is your heart? The market women crying, Pimpin' riders crying, Saber service crying, Keke riders crying, Yana boys are crying, everybody crying, police people crying, army people crying, nurses are crying, teachers are crying.
Buka dancer,
They push killing us,
buka dancer,
corruption killing us.
buka dancer,
You must go away a story,
buka dancer,
but for they killing us.
buka.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much. This is the Rescue Mission Canada. We are doing our first broadcast on our live platforms on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Thomas Dan Jr., and this is the first time we are coming on air as Team Rescue Canada. I'm here today with my buddy Chris, and we will have many other studio guests joining us. We want to say thank you and welcome to our platform. Like I said, we are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. If you are joining us, you can share our live broadcast. So we want to say welcome to you, Brother Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. Let's do this. We're all in this together. But I noticed that you sound a little bit low from your end there. You want to see, I don't know, it's far from your mic or try to adjust your mic.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Better.
I can see that I have the same kind of feedback from your end. The microphone seems to be a little bit very low too, so I'm going to try and
Yeah,
up
am I
my
sounding low
gain.
too?
Yeah, a little bit, yes. So I'm not sure if it is the streaming platform, but let me see if I can increase the volume.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm right next to it, to my system here. I am going to
You're
try.
sounding a little bit better now. Yeah, like you when you
Oh,
went a little
okay.
bit forward. Yeah, maybe
Oh,
you
okay.
just need to get a little bit closer to the mic there, I guess. Yeah, and then it will be fine.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So yeah, we'll try and readjust ourselves to see how this thing can be done. It's the first one, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna be super at this thing very soon.
I say now.
Okay.
Good.
So yeah, it's good. Are you hearing me louder?
It seems to be a little bit better. Not that
Okay.
100%, but I don't know if anybody viewing us. Maybe you can ask them uh, to see
Yeah,
how
for
we
now
react.
we don't have someone joining us, I mean viewing us yet. We will have others to join us, and then once they start to view us, they can let us know how well the sound is doing. But when I was playing the music, it was quite loud.
Yeah, the
Um,
music was
and-
loud. It's just the talking, and I it goes down a little bit in the volume.
okay, all right. So we have.
If we
I
can
thought
get
I
that
saw
same kind of
somebody trying to join
if we
in
can
the
get
back.
that same kind of volume that the music is, it would be really wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. We're getting there. So in the meantime, I'll just play some music yet whilst we try to adjust ourselves.
I know. Yeah.
Monari beat that trouble.
Broke on 2023. Kuwe, 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 kuwe.
Buka dancer,
They push killing us.
buka dancer,
Corruption killing us.
buka dancer,
You must go away a story.
buka dancer,
But for they killing us.
buka dancer,
It's the people crying.
buka dancer,
But for they killing us.
buka dancer.
Everybody vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba.
Hey, yeah.
Vote for Baba. Gone are the days when we talk going to fight. No food or eat, no shelter for us. Gone are the days when you felt we were stupid. Where is the country? Where is your heart? The market women crying, Pimpin' riders crying, Saber service crying, Keke riders crying, Yana boys are crying, everybody crying, police people crying, army people crying, nurses are crying, teachers are crying.
Buka dancer,
They push killing us,
buka dancer,
corruption killing us.
buka dancer,
You must go away a story,
buka dancer,
but for they killing us,
buka dancer,
it's the people crying.
buka dancer,
Radio station closing.
buka dancer.
Rescue mission say yeah. Klima, 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 klima. Joseph Jima Waka, Dale me we want. Jeremiah Kun, Dale me we want. Rescue mission, Liberia choice. Joseph Jima Waka, Dale me we want. Jeremiah Kun, Dale me we want. Rescue mission, Liberia choice.
Buka dancer,
They push killing us,
buka dancer,
corruption killing us.
buka dancer,
You must go away a story.
buka dancer.
All right, yeah, we don't need a buka dancer. We need a stable government. We need people who will bring innovation to our country and bring experts to help solve our crisis, and to bring people who will know what they are doing actually. And so yeah, that's why we are here. And Team Canada, we are calling on you to join us this Friday on the 3rd for the rescue mission fundraising. And Brother Chris, I mean, what can you tell us more about the fundraising?
Yeah, thank you, there, brother. Like you said, this fight is about the soul of our country, the future of our country. We cannot afford to sit back, and allow this country to go down in dream. It's about our children. It's about our unborn children. So we all in this together. We all should stand up for this country. You know, it's not an everyday thing. We are just in this for a short period of time. The latest is just in the next 2 weeks, November 14. Liberians shall know whether George Weah will stay in power, or we will have a new president, Joseph Newman Boakai, to take our country into a new direction. So we are supporting the rescue team. We are supporting the Honorable Joseph Boakai. And as you all may know, we are into a runoff, between George Weah and Joseph Boakai. But Joseph Boakai, as you know, on the opposition, they don't have money, they don't control the states. Unlike George Weah, he control the resources. They are controlling the government, they control the central bank and everything. You know, as you all may know, in the first election, the European Union came and accused Mr. Weah of using state fund, using taxpayer dollars, using the country money to support his election. It's not Mr. Weah's own money. So elections is about money. We from the opposition, Joseph Yuma Baka, as you people know, is being a very transparent person. He never stole from the country. Just his salary he been living on. According to himself, he have been living and surviving on loan. You know, so he does not have money personally to sponsor this election. We want him to come and take this country into a new direction so that we can have some normalcy back in this country. But he cannot do it alone. He needs the help and support of every Liberian, every well-meaning Liberians to come on board, every little sense. The Ghana people, when I was in Ghana, I learned that it's a little drop of water make a mighty ocean. Let us ride it around. We have to protect our vote, fellow Liberians. It is important that our vote is protected. The people we are dealing with, many of you know that nobody needs to tell you that we are dealing with a criminal regime. We saw it. The first round of election was won 100% by Joseph Boakai. But because we did not do our groundwork, we did not pay or educate our pool washers enough, things happened and the election was stolen from us. That today we are into a runoff. But we all know that Joseph Boakai won the election on the first round of election. But thank God they did not steal it from us 100%. We still have an opportunity to elect Joseph Boakai, the next president of Liberia. So my fellow Liberians, we are calling on you people to please rally around. Anything, nobody is taxing you with a specific amount. Whatever you get, like I said, Ghana people get this thing. They say, little drop of water make a mighty ocean. Come on, just contribute whatever little amount you have. It will make a big difference so that we can be able to protect our vote, pay pool washers to mine our vote. And this is the mission we are on. As you come on, please, as you are listening to us, please share it live. Be encouraged, encourage other people. Let us do this together to save our country from the nightmare we have been under in the last 6 years. The last thing we want as Liberians is another 6 years of George Weah regime. Like the Honorable Joseph Boakai will say, except we don't want the country. You see? So,
Yeah, thank you so much, brother Chris. And like you were saying over there, you mentioned, you said Ghana people talk about how small can make big, right? I also heard that saying that they had it in tree. They used to say kakra kakra akokobe dunsu.
yeah.
And that's something I learned from them when I was there. It's small. The rooster will drink water.
Yes,
Every little drop that we put in this rescue bucket is going to make us to reach the mighty ocean that we are looking for in order to defeat the monster we have at hand, called George Weah. So on that note, I want to bring the chairman for the Rescue Mission Fundraising Committee. He's in the back, Mr. Thomas Bumbe from Edmonton. We want to say welcome to you, Mr. Bumbe, and thanks for joining us. And as we labeled this, we said this is a test broadcast. Yes, indeed, it is. But we are happy to have you here, and we are happy for people who are viewing us from wherever they are. I can see that we are getting people getting to join on our live stream, which is good. We say thank you so much. Share and let's have fun. Let's raise funds for Boakai. Welcome, Mr. Bumbe.
Thank you, Tommy, and Chris as well. Thank you so much for the update. And for everyone that love Liberia, this is not a time to stay on the fence. There's a need to be part. And for me, I will be very upfront to let everyone know it's obvious that you can choose a side. Nothing wrong with where you want to choose. You can go the other way to see where the country is. And in the past 7 years, we know from 2017 to now. And if you really love Liberia and you like good things, you want to see the progress of the country, then you can, choose that side. For me, there will be no problem. But if you live in a beautiful country, or even if you live in Liberia, you still need good things. For sure, you will have to choose the other side, which is where we are. And that's what gets some of us involved to really support the initiative that will see the means to bring change to our country, bring a positive change based on reference, based on record, based on track record. So Thank you, Tommy, for putting this together as an IT specialist for the Rescue Mission Team Canada. I know we have a goal tonight and next couple of days to invite our friends. Maybe what you can do, if you can put a number up there, you can use my number. Let people, let your viewers call in and share their view. You know, whatever they feel, that's fine. It's public event, and we expect that people express their view if anybody wants to join us on this initiative. So yeah, thank you, Tommy.
Yeah, so was I try to get the number, on the screen for people to call in and express themselves on this broadcast. I will also, first of all, bring on the crunch time flyer on the screen, and then give you the opportunity to talk about it. You and Chris, was I try to get the number uh, going over there. So I believe you can see on your screen right now. You have the flyer for the upcoming event. So take us through it, Mr. Bumbe.
Well, thank you, Tommy. As you can see, Unity Party Canada, USA, crunch time 50. You know, Chris said it earlier on that we all saw what happened in the first round, and it's obvious that a lot of things went wrong. And at the same time, we are peaceful group, we are peaceful party. People didn't want to raise issues that could derail the process. We decided to accept it to go for the second round. So this time around, there is a process. There is a system that had been put in place to prevent any mishandling of the process. So we are organizing the first fundraising event that happening this Friday, as you can see. And you know what? The good thing is that for us as Canadian, usually just like the country is, we are very reluctant. We are slow in our process. But guess what? When we are involved, we are involved. If we are going, we are going. So, and we can see that a lot of people have not been reached out, and that's one of the main goal of this event tonight. It's a public event that we are having. A lot of information has been circulating within members and supporters of Joseph Nyumabwaka. So we decided to go public to inform everyone. We're getting calls. The interesting thing that there are other Canadians that were calling yesterday on Spoon Talk when there was an event going on. So without knowing that this event is going on, and they were asking questions to me. How can we do I'm calling from Canada. How can I do the e-transfer? And I tried to use Zelle and all of that. It did not go. Of course, we have different system in Canada. We all can admit that. So with the Canadian chapter created this system. We have a brand new account that is open to use the e-transfer for this process that was discussed through John Malu, who is the party fundraising chair and who control all the finances. Every single penny that will be collected will be sent over according to what the party requirement is. So that is the process, as you can see on the flyer, this Friday at 4 p.m. Alberta time. 4 p.m. if you're in Alberta, just get your phone ready. But the information is there. If you're in Ontario, it will be 6 p.m. your time. In Liberia, will be 10 o'clock. And it's going to be broadcast on some number of radio stations in Liberia. And the one of the popular platform that's going to be used on is Class Reloaded, as you can see. It's one of the top Facebook or program that is running Liberia, and it's also relay on a lot of radio station in Liberia. So this Friday is a day, and it's going to be coordinated with the US chapters and as well as Australia. As you can see, if you're in Australia and other part of the world, information is on there that you can send your contribution. If you're in Liberia, the information is also there to send your contribution. And you know what? We have guests. We have a very prominent guest speakers that will be showing up that day. You can see on the flyer. Special guests will be speaking to us. Madam Magdala Cooper will be on. Honorable Darius Dillon will be on to speak to us. So if you haven't had the opportunity to interact with them directly, to ask them questions, another opportunity is coming on Friday. Our USA Canada chairman, Mr. John Fellow is on there. Will also be sharing. Of course, our top promoter, Honorable Eugene Fagon, is also on the flyers. He'll be on that day as a panelist that you can call and ask him. Then our assistant or UP USA Canada or chair, acting chair, Honorable Musa Keita is also going to be on. So it's going to be a full of house this Friday, Tommy.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna have lots and lots of people, and we are calling on all our people here in Canada. Let's prove to the world that we support JMB and the rescue team. We did it in the first round. We raised a lot of money, and we were able to do our contribution towards the rescue team. We can also do it again, and this time around, we are up against the central bank, right? Because
Yes.
the government
Yes.
is putting out the central bank out there, money is flying left and right. We can do what we can do in order to counter it in a small but meaningful way. And we are calling on all Canadians. As you can see on your screen there, we have the e-transfer email address. You can send your contribution to that e-transfer address, and the rescue team Canada is going to make sure that your donations go towards the rescue team. We're going to make sure that we support our pool washers with the necessary tools they need in order to be our eyes and our ears to make sure that we don't get robbed of the opportunity to change Liberia for the better. Brother Chris, you want to add to that?
Yeah, Thomas said it all. Thomas said it all, and you also add on to it. We are in this together. There's nowhere
But
like
Chris, your
home.
audio. I'm not sure, Tommy, if it is only from my end.
It is the same. It's a little bit in faint. I believe his phone is a little distant from him. That's why.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we in this together. There's nowhere like home. Don't see yourself that you are in Canada or in the US and you think say you are in a better country. You don't get time for your own country. This is now our country. We all will one day reach that stage for retirement. Even right now you don't consider Liberia a place, but there's coming a time that this country will matter to you. So to fight for the soul of this country, we got to start doing it now. We don't wait. You can't wait, say, I have to wait for 75 years or 65 years to retirement before I start thinking about Liberia. You want to retire to go back to a better country, to live the same kind of life you are living here in Canada, that you don't worry about somebody coming to rob you at night. You want to live in that country when you retire, that you go to bed in peace and wake up from bed in peace, walk the street in peace. You got to start fighting for that country right now and not last minute to time. And to do that, you'll see how our country have been run in the last 6 years, Liberians. Nobody need to tell us. You'll see the kind of people that are presiding over this country. Okay, the Americans have told you, they have pointed out all the wrongs, but they have told you over and over that we cannot partake in your elections. We cannot take decisions for you. It is left with you, the Liberians, to make the decisions. We can only advise you people, and that's what they have done over the years. It is left with us. This election is the most consequential and most important and crucial election in our lifetime. We cannot afford to get it wrong this time. We cannot afford to miss it.
Yeah.
If not, like the Honorable Joseph Boakai once said, there will be no Liberia if we miss it this time around. This is what makes this election so important. And that's why it should concern every Liberian to get involved in this fight. Every well-meaning Liberians should get involved in this fight to save the soul of this country. Another 6 years of George Weah is game over for Liberia. So tomorrow, starting today, we have put up the number. We have put up the email address. Whatever little contribution, start sending it. You don't even have to wait for it. You don't have to wait for tomorrow. You can start sending your contribution right now Your name will be taken down. Your name at the end of the fundraising, like they did in the first round of vote. They are transparent. Nobody will eat a dime. Every dime that we raise in the first phase of the election, all of us that contributed, we have contributed tremendously in many ways. Some of us have local charter in Liberia. We send money to them, and we have our Canada charter here, and we contributed. Our names were put down. Our names were recognized. Some of us are not doing this thing for anything. We don't want job. We just want a better country. To get that better country, we got to sacrifice, Liberians. You please come on board. We are begging you. You come on board and contribute what little amount you get. Start looking into your account right now. That little that you have extra, that is not for any emergency, please e-transfer it to the email provided for a better country for your children. That tomorrow you want to visit Liberia, you will not be running off the street 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock for fear of being found dead. That's what we have witnessed over the years. Nobody need to tell your Liberians. You do it for yourself. You do it for the country. In the sub-region, every other country is doing well except for Liberia because of the poor leadership we have, because of the people who took this country and placed it in their hand. Children, childish behaviors. That's all we need. You don't have another secret. And in this race, especially among the two, none of you Liberians can tell me you will go to this election and prefer a George Weah over a Joseph Boakai. None of you can tell me that. So come on, Bo. Start transferring that little money through e-transfer. Let us pay our pool washers because, like my brother just said, the host there, elections is about money. They are controlling the central bank. As you people remember, recently they just printed 48 billion local currency they brought in the country. They have printed all that money and brought in the country with all the Liberian people knowing. They use your tax money, your taxes. 50 million was given to them, federal Liberian. If you are listening to me tonight, 50 million was given to them to print additional money to replace the mutilated Ben Nook on the market. And those guys went to work, and indeed, they printed all that money, 48 billion. Their duty was, you bring the money, you are accountable to the Liberian people. You tell the Liberians, indeed, this is how a transparent government will work. This is how a government that is for the people will work. Oh, we have completed the printing of the 48 billion. It's in the country now. But you guys brought the money in the country. They are keeping it in their various homes for this purpose, to run elections. There are pictures surfacing on Facebook now. They're trying to buy people vote. They are distributing bags of rice at various homes across the country. This is how they want to keep our country. Use the people, give them rice, give them few dollars, and they vote for them, and then they go in 6 years, 9 years, and they start buying Jeep, 95,000 US. Liberians, nobody needs to tell you. You are the one living the conditions. You are suffering, and they are not there for you. Let us write it. Let us begin to start talking to our people. Those are all in the diaspora. Take the phone, talk to your loved ones, the ones that you have control over, to choose between good and evil.
Yeah.
Joseph Boakai is the right person to change the trajectory for this country for the better. George Weah cannot help this country. He has not helped this country in the last 6 years. He cannot help this country. When he's not coming back to the other Liberian people to ask you for anything. The time the man was having to come back to you and ask you, he ruled a country like this, Liberians. How much now if you go to work and re-elect this man that he's not coming back to you to ask you for anything else? You just think about it. How Liberia will be under a George Weah who is not coming again to ask you for anything. Think about it for a second. What will Liberia be? So that's why it's important that we take this election very serious.
Yeah.
If we were never
Yeah.
been serious in this country before, this time around, we have to be serious. If not, we should just consider ourselves a failed nation. So please, my fellow Liberians, to allow other people to talk. And many of you, like they put a number up there. You want to contribute. You want to contribute to the show. You want to call in. We want to listen to you too. You know, probably we are missing something, or you get some important information to pass on, or to talk to loved ones too and friends. Hit the call button, take that number, call, and let us listen to you. But we in this together. This is a Liberia fight. This is not Thomas Bowman fight. This is not Chris alone fight. This is not a brother there alone fight. This is a Liberian fight. Liberia gets better. Every Liberians get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said, Chris. And again, we are calling on our fellow Liberians in the diaspora here to support the rescue mission with their money, with their resources, and we are supporting the mission with our time and our efforts and the little that we have. But it's good that you also were speaking to our people back home, right? Because while we are suffering here psychologically, they are suffering there psychologically, physically, all the you can talk about, you can think about.
Yeah.
Right? They are feeding the brunt of it on ground. Now, if we provide the finances to do pool washing and everything, if they don't vote,
Yeah.
we still have a bigger problem. We're still going to be stuck with this monster we have. So, fellow Liberians, if you are okay with the way your life has been for the last 6 years, good luck keeping the current leadership we have. But if you know that the last 6 years has been a nightmare for you, like many of us have seen, the choice is just binary. It's just one way. Your only choice is to vote for Honorable Boakai and Jeremiah Kun.
Yeah.
If you think you are better, 6 years in the making, your life has changed tremendously, then of course, why not keep the government? But I know, you and I know, even those who work within the government, harmonization took a lot from them. It dehumanized them. If you were making $150 before and now you're making $45, what good it is to you? So if you know you were harmonized, it's time for you to harmonize their vote too now. It's your opportunity. You know, the choice is just one way, in my opinion. And I believe lots of Liberians see things as we see it. You know, so step up, come out, be the one to volunteer to be a pool washer after you cast your vote. First thing first, go and cast your vote. And make sure when you vote for number one, the first choice on the ballot, Jeremiah Kun and his papi Joseph Boakai. Check it off. Put your thumbprint. Put an X right in the box. Don't go outside because they have set all their boogie track. When you cross the line small, they want to call it invalid. When you put your thumbprint, it cross outside or it go one way small, it's going to be invalid. Let us make sure, you know. Chinua Achebe said, Iniki the bird says, since men had learned to shoot without missing, I too have learned how to fly without perching. Make sure when you cast your thing, put it right there in the middle, that there should be no way for anybody to nullify your vote. And again, we look at the situation in Liberia, Mr. Bombe. I'll come to you. The issue of drugs. Speak to us. We see that our young people, you know, almost every home in Liberia, there is some kind of Zogo inside. Even the top echelon of government. I heard and said the vice president has a Zogo to one of her kids.
Yeah.
So it is not like I have joy in it because I know it affects every one of us in all of our homes. Other kids are getting, high on drugs. on marijuana or they are getting high on kush. What do you have to tell our people? Or I think Mr. Boomer just, muted himself. But maybe I'll come to you, Chris. Okay, Mr. Boomer, go ahead.
No, I'm
What
here.
do you say about the kind of crisis we have when it comes to drugs?
Tommy, when you talk about what we have in the country, you will not imagine. And we have to admit that there are issues of drugs all over the world. But we can see how other countries are fighting, how they are doing their best, to reduce the spread, to reduce, the young people from not getting involved. But when you're talking about Liberia, for those of us that are always visiting there at least once a year, twice a year, and stuff like that, you can see how bad it's getting, my brother. You will see that sometimes if you travel to Liberia, the young people, and we can relate to that. If people are idle, if people have nothing to do, and the leaders hence are behind this. Look at the recent drugs bust that was or that was caught at the airport. The young people are getting into it so much that they have nothing doing. They will make it so cheap for them, and they even creating a way that they can actually produce it for little or nothing, and they share it. And remember, drugs is addiction, my friend. Drugs is addiction. As long as you taste a little bit of it, guess what? You want to have it every now and then, even if you don't have food to eat. And guess what? These young guys will go everywhere to get money, just to get into drugs. And it make them so numb in the sense, you can imagine in Moria, you'll be driving or Chris, you'll be driving, you travel there. You try your best to, like the way we drive here, you try your best, like somebody trying to cross the road, you slow down for them. Guess what? Because you slow down and you let them pass, when they cross that road, they will insult you, they will curse you. You can't imagine. It's like, why you have to slow down for me? So it's a crisis. It's a very serious crisis, and people are getting terrible. And the worst thing about it is young folks, our future generation, that are sharing this, that are getting each other involved with no solution. The government is not coming with any. They're not giving us any option to say, okay, this is how we're fighting this drugs issue. This is how we're getting our young people involved into programs. And this is how they are opening centers where they are a bunch of this ghetto, where this youth gather, and they're calling them Zokos. This morning I was watching a program that the rescue mission went to visit one of the centers and serving them food. They were speaking for themselves, that they feel bad about themselves. But do they have choice to get out of it? They just can't. They were speaking. The video is out there themselves. The lady that went with the team to help them out with some meals, the young lady cried. Say, look at this girl. This could be my daughter. See her condition. You could see some of them. At the end of the day, this is the society that we have over the past 6 years. And you're telling me, with no solution, with no option on the table as to how they're going to fight these issues. And he's saying that we should give them another chance. Or the LeBron Post should give you another chance. Another 6 years. You know what we're going to be like crazy? I can imagine. In all fairness, you can imagine. We all know in Canada or in the West, if you are looking for a job, what's the first thing they ask you? Your resume. The second thing is what? Your reference. So this government has already a reference. They already given their reference. It's in your hand. And based on your reference, that's how you'll be hired. So why can we really ask this question? We have the resume already. Okay, thank you for bringing the resume. But now, as employer, you the voters are the employers. Now, check your reference. Check this government reference. What have happened in the past 6 years? What can it show? Until the U.S. government getting down on some of the officials with sanctions. Say, this is what we see. It's up to you people.
We'll talk about the sanction.
We'll come to that.
A bit, yeah. We'll come to that.
But
yeah, before let me ask, you this one before I go to Chris, right? And then before I go to Chris, I'll show some of the videos, footages that we see on our streets in Monrovia. But you spoke about us Liberians seeing the resume of George Weah, seeing the resume of the government, the ineptitude. I think when we say ineptitude, our woman in what else I may now understand how easy how they fail to do things. Those are why the white people call ineptitude, or the people BB people say ineptitude. How they are very lazy and fail to do anything that's supposed to be done for our people. Now that we see it, what is in us? Do we need Martin Colley to fact check their resume before we can know that the person that we're bringing in front of are not qualified?
No, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there, Tommy. You don't need nobody to tell you. So this is how somebody get job. Some of us that are in the part of the world, this is how we get job. So we're calling on our own Liberian people, whoever have your relative there, like you said earlier on. This government have given us their resume. We've seen it. So we've seen the rescue mission resume in terms of what? Transparency, in terms of accountability. One of the only candidates you can never count on when it comes to corruption. And this is what our ambassador said. This is what our Standard Bearer JMB said, that the country is rich. And it's true. Our country is rich. What is damaging us is the corruption. And he promised to count on that. And he have a track record. If only a leader you cannot trace, nothing else they will talk about him being corrupt or being involved in anything, no record. Nobody can show. Unless for some propagandas or the individuals that are making up things that we all can see for sure is election time. People, no matter what, they have to make up things against you. At the end of the day, the record is there. He have his resume. So people decided that, you know what, let's try this government. Try Mr. Weah 6 years. Here is it. So the resume is there, Tommy. It's very clear.
Absolutely, the resume is there for 6 years. When we come to work here in most offices, they give you 3 months probation, and if you can't deliver in that 3 months, they get somebody else. But we've given this government the first 6 years, probation, and they shown us that they're not fit for this job. But before I go to Brother Chris,
one of my followers just sent this to me, and after watching this, my heart is aching. Look at what our country has turned into. Look at this young man just like a zombie. What is happening to us in this country? What are our leaders doing? Where's the enforcement team? The drug enforcement.
You see, so Brother Chris, there you have it. The sister who made this video, or who
it's not drama.
Online.
It's not a drama. It's a life story.
It's a very life story. She's asking the question: where are our leaders? What is the plan they have in order for us to fight this? 100 million drugs coming into the country, disappear into thin air. 40 million comes, it goes that way. Moringa turns into meth, crystal meth. What our leaders are doing right now, should we keep them? Why do we have to keep them, Brother Chris? What's the plan?
Yeah, thank you there, Tommy, again, and Thomas, you guys already put it. That's where some of us, from the initial stage, we started going other way from this government. We tried from the beginning when they came to power. We thought, like every other Liberians, to give these guys the opportunity, thinking that they meant well for this country. But when we saw Mr. Weah's start of leadership in the first year, we knew straight that Mr. Weah did not mean well for this country. What did we see from Mr. Weah when he was sworn into office? Mr. Weah himself went on the street. What would a responsible leader or somebody that meant well for this country, what would I expect for Mr. Weah was? We thought Mr. Weah was going in his first 100 days to call for a war on drugs in the country and to start putting mechanisms into place to build rehabilitation center across the country, because the drug crisis, we know it did not start under Joshua. It started, drugs problem is everywhere around the world, like Thomas Boomer said it. But if people comes to power and they don't mean well, they came to fail, they start to give excuses. What did we start hearing from Mr. Weir and his folks? Every time, they fail to tackle certain things, they give excuses. But these things happen in every country. There's drugs crisis in Canada. There's drugs crisis in the US. Do you want to compare Liberia with the US, with Canada? When these people have total control of their country and their economy, they have the money, they have the resources, they have the expertise to tackle these things. But you come in the country, you told the people you were coming to do things differently. Okay? You told the people you were going to be for them. Mr. Weir came to power. Mr. Weir himself went on the street. Instead of declaring war on drugs and requesting the agency responsible to start putting mechanisms into place to open rehabilitation center, so start taking some of our brothers and sisters off the street to turn them into productive citizens again. Mr. Weir himself, we saw that the videos are out there, started taking physical cash, giving it to these guys on the street. What does that mean? It means Mr. Weir was telling them he wanted to create more Zocos. He wanted more of them. You see from Mr. Weir, when he addresses them, these young guys, the underprivileged, he called them Banamene. Banamene. What kind of a sound leader, a leader that meant well for these people to refer to a certain group of people like that because they found themselves in a particular situation? He called them Banamene. We saw from the regime that came to power, they did not come to help Liberia, but they were desperate. All these years, these guys were opposition, wanting power in this country. They did not play anything for this country, how to take this country forward. They just wanted power. And what we have seen in the last 6 years is what they all wanted to have getting there. They consider this country as the biggest elephant meat, get there, and whatever chances we get to cut our own share of the elephant meat, we cut it. When they got there, that's what we see. That's why you see 6 years, Mr. Weir government failed with all the drugs crisis we are faced with that is hurting every section of that country. Like you and I today, if we are to leave from here and go to Liberia, we cannot sleep in peace. You cannot walk the street with even common cell phone. Somebody can chop your whole hands off for common cell phone. They just consider you, especially when they hear you from Canada or America or Europe, automatically, because of the level of understanding in there, they just automatically conclude that you have money. They go after you for no reason. Oh, we are seeing a lot in this country in a short period of time. Mr. Weir and his government have failed this country miserably. And the last thing Liberians want to do is to keep them in power. Like I will always say, and I always like to quote Honorable Joseph Boakai. He said, that's exactly what he meant. But because they don't want a good country, they went on to interpret the old man's statement that what Joseph Boakai, he has served government for over 40 plus years. Nobody know him to be a violent person. He was in that country. We fought 14 years of war. Nobody heard Joseph Boakai name mentioned in any of these crises. That now, under a normal condition, that Joseph Boakai will want to bring war in this country but this is the kind of people we have today. They have divided this country so much, and this is how they want to keep this country so that they can keep their loot going on. This is what it was when Joseph Boakai said, electing George Weah for another 6 years, there will be no Liberia. And they all knew what the man meant, but they will go to translate it in a way because they want to destroy this country. In a short period of time, in the last 6 years, we have seen lawmakers, government officials are involved in the drug trade in the country. There's no secret. The one that you said, either it was Thomas or you, Tommy, that a government official drug was busted at our international gateway to the country, at Rabat International Airport. Those guys are brave. They're bringing the drugs by land and they're bringing the drugs by air. They're bringing it by sea. Charter flights are bringing in the drugs in the country. The last drugs that were busted at Robert International Airport were brought in by Finabondo. All of them around Joshua. Mr. Weah himself is in the know of the narcotic drugs in the country. Clyde Weah brothers are in the country, in the cover, they came to the country under the cover of darkness. And they are the one with Kalasco, Finabondo there. They are all involved in this drugs trade. Ever in the history of our country, Tommy and Thomas, even in Mexico or Colombia that are noted to be drugs country, they have never seized 100 million worth of drugs. A country like Nigeria that is considered to be a 419 country, never in their history to seize, to even allow that amount of illegal drugs to enter their country. A small country like Liberia, we are allowing that amount of consignment of illegal drugs to come to Liberia. But this is the kind of people we are dealing with. They came to get rich at the expense of poor and suffering Liberians. Those guys were desperate. Mr. Weah, like we have been telling the Liberian people over and again, that Mr. Weah was desperate. The life Mr. Weah could not have a full living doing his celebrity status. You know, he was just waiting for the opportunity and he got it. That's the kind of life today, Mr. Weah. If Liberian people, that would be the greatest mistakes in our lifetime to re-elect Joshua. I'm telling you. I'm telling any Liberian watching us here tonight, keep this live video. You will say, God sitting in Canada. We warned you before. In 2017, we were right here. We told you there's nothing good was going to come out of Joshua administration because we knew many of the players. We knew their intention, and that's why you people saw. We are telling you here again, Liberians, do not take one man over the entire country. It should be about your family. Going into election should be about you. Government responsibility is to come and improve you're the ordinary citizen, you're the voters, to improve your life. It's not for the president to live big. It's not for ministers. They are servants. They don't use the office to get rich. You vote them to come and serve you, and now you're serving them. So please, if you have never been serious once again, this is the time to be serious. This is about you, and this is about your children. Let us bring in the responsible government. And the only person that can do the job here, and we start to see progress in this country, and other countries start taking us serious, is Honorable Joseph Newman Boakai. Joseph Newman Boakai have what it takes. Like Thomas Boomer was talking about experience. Everywhere around the world. Here in Canada, in America, in Europe, when we are applying for even local job here, the first thing they ask you for is your experience. They ask you for something called resume. That resume you submit is telling them your experience, your knowledge of that job you are applying for. Let us stop the tit-tat-toe business in this country. It's not helping us. We cannot afford taking a man again and putting him in an executive mansion, and with the fear, urgency of your suffering while you're suffering.
Let me not disturb your train of thought. You say we cannot put a man, we cannot put a boy. They call him a boy. We cannot put a boy there anymore.
That's the
so
right
go
word.
ahead.
Exactly. That's the right word. We cannot take a child and put him. You saw it. They were suffering in this country. The people told you they called me to change. The man left the executive mansion. He left the president job. He went out chasing music. Start singing Mama Rita. He started singing Walkie Walkie. Lion Man. My Christmas on ya, my Christmas on ya. This is the president. And they want other country to take us serious, Liberians. And Joseph Boakai as president will never involve in such foolishness. From day one, Joseph Boakai as president, America will take Liberia serious. They will know now we have a president. Britain will take Liberia serious. Israel, every other country around the world will take Liberia serious because now they will know that Liberian people are ready. What they saw from Joshua in his first 100 days, in his first year, in his first second year, they knew that Liberia was not ready. That's why they all refused to do business with him. That's why in 6 years,
No one direct foreign investment into the country. That's why no job in the country. That's why you're suffering. No country can survive without direct foreign investment, without the private sector doing good. We need a government like Joseph Boakai and Ellington. Y'all saw the development, the investment that were in the country, the job in the private sector. So please stop contributing. Let us protect, because they want to loot this election. They want to use money to take this election from us. We cannot afford. Please contribute. Start contributing now, and tomorrow the meet event for contributing across the world, wherever Liberians are, it will be tomorrow. Please.
Friday.
Yeah, it's on
please,
Friday.
Liberians, we are begging you, please. Like we said, little drop of water make a mighty ocean. Whatever you have, we are not taxing you for expensive. We're not saying give us $500. You get $50, $25, $100, whatever God lays on your heart. Please look at it. Take the e-transfer email there. It's going on the screen. Please look at our screen. The e-transfer there. CanaanRescue1@gmail.com. Please start e-transferring whatever you God can lay on you, so we can rescue this country, my fellow Liberians.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris. Yes. And like you said, you know, the breaking of systems, you know, the government has gone on a mission from day one. They got into office. They decided we're going to break down the entire system of government. They've put money in individuals' pockets to be doing everything that government's supposed to be doing. They do in their individual names, and they are looting our country. They have looted it for 6 years, and they are heads on, just eye fixed on looting the country even more. And because of that, our Uncle Sam is continuously bringing in sanctions, and Liberian people still maybe have not seen that. But I heard there's more coming. Mr. Bumbe, you care to maybe tell us what you've been hearing, you know, from the grapevine?
Thank you, Tommy. And you know, these are some of the information and things that I would like for our people to know, our people back home to know that the majority of us that are in diaspora, we are not saying this in a form of hatred or in a form of jealousy for those that are in power now, because of some of the lyrics that they are using. Oh, they don't like these people. They don't like, you know, they made it there and this and that. It's not about anybody, you know, personal. So the people from outside, we know we live in the diaspora, we live in good countries, we know what good thing is. And I can understand some of our people, this is no, you know, intent to degrade them because they live in the country. We all came from the same place, we live in the same swamp, we live in the same bushes during the war. But now that we travel, we know what good thing is. And Liberia was like that before. I was sharing with somebody a few days ago about the type of system that Liberia had before the war. For example, the estate layout, Matadis or Steven Tower and all of the estate. In Monrovia. When I came here, you know, 2002, I realized that almost the same layout that the estate have is what the people have here. So you can imagine how advanced Liberia was. Look at the electrical system. You go to Matadi Estate, you see all the electrical poles, everything, all the wiring on the ground. That's why we have your Chris. You have any wire running? In your house, around your house, like they have in other places. That's what Liberia was.
That's right. You know, yeah.
So if we know the war came and destroy everything, but we cannot go back to that. We need to advance. So we are calling on our people that the life that you live today, you do not deserve it. That's not a normal way of life. And I know most of our young folks may have not seen those life. They may have not seen the type of life our people had those days. You know, at the end of the day, that's not the end of it. You can't drive on a good road. But the international community is telling us, and they're proving that they came very hard openly on the government officials. They got on them that they have credible evidence that these top government officials were involved in corruption. And they put fire on their back. We saw that.
Yeah.
They are warning again. America is warning again. They brought the information out.
Yeah.
You know, the new ambassador coming. He said it, that they're using the state resources. For example, like the campaign now, the campaign is going on. You know, the amount of money that been wasting. For somebody went to Buffalo the other day and they said that they come in there, or you know, former minister Magel coming to share money, dividing money here and there, but there's no road to get to town. You know, if they have all this money to develop or you know, or to do something for the country, how much does it cost? You know, in Liberia for the truck load of gravel, some of the big holes. And what we are saying here is that we don't expect that in 2-3 years we should have quota throughout the country. No, but we never had quota before on these roads. But they were paved. At least cars were running up and down, releasing dry season. Simple as that. But you can imagine now you can't even go to my county Lofa. Southeast, no road. So the international community is telling us that the only opportunity we have is now. And they are doing everything, Tommy and Chris, to monitor this election. They're keeping eye on it. But they are telling us, those of us that are going to the poll, that this is a chance for you to make a change for yourself. Go to the poll now. You have the option. They will do everything to protect the process. When you go there, take that ballot, vote number 1 for the second round. Vote for a change. Vote for a change that will bring integrity back to our country, that will allow investors to come. We don't want these Chinese investors that come in to exploit us. They come in to sell water. They say they are investors. They are building cold storage. You know, that you can see in other countries as an investor. You kidding me? Building cold storage, someone else selling cold water in the street of Manila, then what the local people will do?
Yeah.
All of this should not happen. Leaders should take, you know, charge of all of these things. So to let you know that it's in the air.
It's in the air.
It's in the air, and they are telling our people that they are seeing with their own eyes what is happening. They are using state resources, government money that should be gone to all these things. They are using that now to pay people. It's happening in my own district, you know, Koya district. They are buying, they're going begging people $50 for their voter card when they know that you're Unity Party or president. They will contact you $50 to buy your card. You don't have the means to go and vote.
And so, you know, it is necessary to tell our brothers and sisters and our folks back home, if you want to sell 6 years of your life for $50, are you kidding me? You want to take $50 today and suffer again for another 6 years?
How many days can you live on $50?
How many days?
Yeah, no.
You live on that. Please, let's endure whatever they have given us for 6 years. We get a few more months to endure it.
Yep.
After that, God is going to change our situation if we allow him to do it. And we can only allow him to do that if we go and cast our vote. Don't give your card to somebody for little or nothing, because that is not going to take you any amount of time. Because this is a test broadcast, I think we should be out of here on top of the hour, which is a little over 11 minutes from now. We should be able to wrap this thing up. But I want to bring us back to where we started. I'm going to put back the flyer on the screen, and I believe the actual and the primary goal of this thing, I know with different platforms, Spoon and other media outlets, we've been hearing everything that we have said here tonight. Our people have been hearing it. We will continue to beat this drum that your best option right now is Honorable Joseph Nyaman Boakai and Jeremiah Kuhn to take our country to the next level. But we cannot be able to achieve that if we, especially in the diaspora here, cannot wrap our hands around this rescue mission through our finances. So you can see on our screen our Email address for raising fund is right there. So please, and I'm going to share the flyer again. And for once it's on there, Mr. Bumba can talk about it again, and
Yes.
then Brother Chris can chip in. But we need money, and without money, we cannot be able to achieve the things that need to be achieved in Liberia on ground. Like I said from the beginning, we are up against the central bank. What can we do? We
Yeah.
can use our little widow's might, and it is going to be mightier than the central bank, because little is much. They say when God is near, but I would say little is much right now in our context. When we put our heart and our soul in it, it's going to go a mighty long way. Mr. Bumbe.
Yes. Thank you. Let me come back. Yeah. Let me come back to assure our donors and those that will be interested in giving. And before this whole process came about a few months ago, I think it was a little over a month and a half ago, this is what I would like to say to our donors. We know we live in a country of transparency, country of accountability. Those that are in diaspora and even in Liberia. Just to assure you that the very initial step of this process, the standard bearer made a call out there to let everyone know that his campaign is going to be funded by local citizens, local concerned individuals. That is, he's not going to any of these big players, because that's how the system has been set up and corrupt. They go to these big companies, in so-called investors around the world, borrow, because it's in the form of borrow. They will ask them for money, please fund my campaign. And guess what? If they happen to fund your campaign, they give you $2-3 million, you pass around and share the money, pay for everything. When you win, guess what? You will have no choice. You have to give them something back. You have to give them some sort of contract. You have to create some sort of way that they will get that money back. It's not for free. So our standard bearer, Joe Boakai, called on all the concerned Liberians around the world that my campaign, first of all, he doesn't have money. He said, plain blank, I don't have money, but I believe in the system and I believe in our people that they're going to fund my campaign. So when they reach out to us, we ask that we have been hearing, there have been some rumors in the past elections and some groups raising money, and it doesn't go for the purpose. So what's the process? Again, this is how we know about transparency. The ambassador, and this is our internal information, I will display this for our donors. And the ambassador decided to distance himself from all the donors, from all the funding that are coming for this campaign. He designated John Molu. John Molu is the one that coordinated that received all the funds, and there's a committee set up how much they will need in Monserrado, which county, and where it's supposed to be disbursed. So every fund that is being raised go through John Molu. So we had a meeting with John Molu. The same thing, we had a concern. Before some of us come to people to ask them, like in Canada, I'm going to be, ask questions somewhere in the future. Oh, we don't have money. How did they go? What's the record? How was it spent? So John Molu have a system in place that receive all the donation, all the legitimate donations, such as ours. So when we collect this money, like the first round, we raised over $11,000 in Canada, within Canada alone. And that money is receipted, how it was sent. And in fact, before we even started, we opened a brand new account. So this account eventually will be sent to the auditing committee. They're going to review how all the funds, whoever sending money in, and how everything will be coming out. And we even have a list, unless if you choose to remain anonymous, if you don't want your name to be published in the future, that's fine, let us know. So we'll keep those information confidential. But the entire list will be sent to John Molu and of course to the standard bearer. Whoever giving, if we have 200 persons giving, that list is compiled. That money will be accounted for. There will be an official report made. And there was an official report made to the members for the first round. So if you are concerned about how this money will be used, there's a record, there's a twist that this money will be used through the proper channel that the ambassador designated. And because he doesn't want money going through him to be deciding, oh, who get this, who get that. He doesn't want to be part of that. So there's a committee set up to be disbursing this money. So we are calling on our people to please come up and support. Like he said from the beginning, he now going to all these bookers guys that will be coming in the future to be taking our companies. If you want to go now, for example, you want a contract to have your restaurants at the airport, guess what? Somebody from Ghana, I think we know the story. I don't want to go there. Somebody from Ghana have the contract. No Liberian person, have contract
to go Liberian drivers.
Exactly. You can't have anything. The only thing they will do, maybe you should be the sweeper, this and that. No, our standard bearer said no to that because he's not promising. And this is why a lot of people doesn't know. Some people are thinking, oh, people are doing this for personal interest. Oh, they need something, they need a job. You know what? We can see record that the standard bearer and Jeremiah Kwanku made it clear that they are not promising anybody. So if you have your plan that you're doing this, oh, I'll expect something in return, I will need a job, don't count yourself on that. He made it clear. It's for Liberian people. And this initiative is for everybody, whether you live in Liberia, you live here, redeeming this country takes every effort. So please, the $5 that you will give will make a difference. This second round is for pool watchers. For some of us that follow the election, we saw that, again, due to lack of resources, we did not get pool watchers everywhere in the country. Again, they have worked on those, they have come up with a budget, they have calculated how many pool watchers, committed one, and the supervisors that will be in charge. So if you're giving your donation, it's going for the purpose, it's going directly, 100%. Nobody taking any commission, no, besides the bank charges, no other or transfer fee from here to Liberia or exchange rate. Nowhere, no one is being paid for anything that we are doing. So this Friday, like you saw the flyer, this Friday, this is how it's going to work. For anything that you gave from now to this Friday, and you may not have time to be on the show, or you may not have time to call that day, send your e-transfer, put your number in there if you choose to, but otherwise you can indicate in the private section that, okay, keep my name private, otherwise.
Okay, Chris, I think we lost the connection to Mr. Bumbe there. So if you're hearing me, maybe you can give your parting comments, and when we get Mr. Bumbe back, we can have his parting comments also from him.
Okay, yeah, brother. Once again, thank you to you there, Tommy, and thank you to Thomas there. Even though you're having a network problem right now, so but you guys said it all. Even though we know this is not a real fundraising network, show that we're having tonight, just a test transmission that was going on. But like I said, this is a fight we are all in, Liberians. The email is going under the screen there. You can call Thomas. That his number there, 780-904. I think 11323.
Yep.
Yeah, call him and then he can clearly state his email and tell you how to e-transfer if you have not done it before. We are in this together. Change does not come easily. Some places, at some country, at some point in time, it even take people's lives, blood, sweat. Have you all heard about the Arab Spring?
Sorry, Tommy. I'm not sure what happened there. My line went off.
No, it's all good. We'll come to you for your parting comments, but let's just conclude.
The Arab Spring today, that part of the region, that part of the world is quiet now. Things are happening for the people. People took their lives. They put their lives on the line. We are not asking you to give your life. We are only asking you for a little contribution for the betterment and to protect this country from going down further. Please, my fellow Liberians, this fight is every Liberian's fight. Please get on board. We cannot allow this country, we cannot allow seeing our brothers and sisters being murdered, being killed in cold blood, and there's no justice for them, no accountability in the country. The country has turned to a lawless country. A country in the last 6 years has turned to a country of gangsters, of hooligans.
Today in Liberia, people can knock their chest, I can kill you, and there will be nothing that will be done about it. I have the police director number. He called that for nothing. We are seeing these things happen in this country. We got a president who will tell you, go and buy yourself CCTV camera. And there's no electricity in the country. He does not care. Liberians are dying. He hardly even speak of some of these things. Liberian, this is not the kind of country you envision. This is not a country you want to live in and you want your children to grow in. Let us return to normalcy in this country. And by doing that, trusting Joseph Yuma Boakai and Jeremiah Kpankun, we think Liberia will once again get back to some form of normalcy. Another 6 years of George Weah, it will be continuous chaos, it will be violence, it will be a total breakdown of laws and order in this country, and Mr. Weah will not care. He had never cared before, and he will not care now. Let us not make the mistakes. Please contribute whatever little amount you get so we can be able to pay pool washers across the country well for them to protect your vote so that it cannot be stolen. The intention is to steal the vote with the help of the National Election Commissioner, Henrietta Brown. She was appointed by George Weah, so she has some interest, okay, because she worked at the will and pleasure, even though she wants to do it, but we can make it difficult for her not to do it. And the only way of making her not to do it is by paying people across the country to watch the counting of your votes so that it cannot be stolen again. We want, after November 14, Joseph Yuma Boakai should be declared the next president of Liberia. So once again, we all can return to some form of normalcy in this country. The noise is too much in the country. The hatred is too much. The division is too much in this country in the last 6 years. We don't want to afford that. Thank you people very much tonight. We welcome and appreciate whatever little contribution you have done already, or if you are not done it yet, you're about to do it. We encourage you to do it, and we will appreciate all of you. It's not for Tommy, it is not for Thomas Boomer, it is not for me. We all have done it. We are not just asking you to contribute. We have done our contribution, and we will continue. Tomorrow I'll be one of those that will be calling to contribute. I've already contributed. I think almost $400 I spent. The first contribution I made $250. Again, I call again another day, another contribution was going on. I call again and I pay $100. So that's almost $350. Then I went, they were selling the t-shirt to raise funds, the t-shirt and the hat. I buy it again. So my total contribution went to the 400 plus. Okay? And
Thank you.
We get other small group in Liberia. We also supporting. Sometimes we send them $50. They want buy gas to go. So we're making contributions in many ways.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
There's some of us. You mark our faces today. We don't even want security job in our country. We just want a normal country for all Liberians to live in and live happily. That's all. Joseph Boakai become president in our country. They will not even, maybe when you see us there, we only can visit. 2, 3 weeks, 1 month, we are back in Canada. We don't want job, but we just want a normal country for every Liberians to live in peace and go about their normal businesses. Yeah, thank you very much for tonight. And tomorrow, let us do this generally. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Tommy. And let us do this together.
Thank you, Brother Chris. Thank you for that powerful closing remark there. I'll turn to Mr. Bumbe for take a minute or so, a minute and a half to make your parting comments for the night.
Thank you, Tommy, and thank you to Chris for making it up in the short invitation. First of all, we'll try our best to be back here tomorrow again with more information and more reminder and more encouragement to be part of this. And please, we are calling on everyone, if you have not been part of this process or if you didn't hear about it, if you are only hearing about it, please, this is an invitation. And I know we are many. We may not be able to reach out to you, or if you know of anyone that might not be informed about the process, may not be aware that Canadians are doing this, they are raising money, or they are being part of the initiative, sending people on the ground to help out with the fundraising like any other country around the world is doing. European, Australia, everywhere in the world are doing their best to be part of this. So we as Canadian, Liberian will now also sit on the fence and watch other people doing this. So please come on board, invite others. If you have not heard about it today, tonight is your first time hearing about it. We must apologize, but it's not no intent to leave everyone behind. Come on board. We don't leave anyone behind this. This is for a grassroots for everybody. Normally, this is not a normal process to go public for campaign information. But Joe Barker said that let the Liberian people themselves, because that's what the West Indians say. Canadian will tell us that it is only Canadian that will build their country, and the same thing is Liberians. And where do we start from? By supporting our leaders to get into office. And when you get there, your little dollar you're giving now will be a reminder to Joseph Barker and his team in the future. You know what? I pay him $5 towards your campaign. Why are you not doing this? Why this is not happening? You have the right. You will have that option. So please, my people, you come on Friday at 2 o'clock, let me say, or 4 o'clock or a better time, 3 o'clock if you are in BC or other part of the country, and it's going to be 6 p.m. Ontario time, that's Eastern Standard Time. And if you are in Liberia, it's going to be 10 p.m. And you can follow us on Class Reloaded, and of course, the radio station that they carry along. So please join us on Friday with your donation, or you can send your email now. You will be recognized. You will be documented. Your information will be given to the standard bearer in the future to show that these are the people that put their dollars, $5, $10, $1,000 together to support your initiative, because you promised them that you're going to bring a change in our country. So once again, thank you all. To me, thank you for doing this. And whoever want to come on tomorrow, you want to give us your contribution, you want to, call in and give us your advice, who we can reach out to, please. The number is out there. The Facebook page is that you can join us. You can share this live later on. You are highly welcome, and we appreciate everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bumbe. Again, I just want to wrap it up by bringing the flyer back on screen. As you can see on the flyer over there, we have the medium that you can use to send your money or your contribution to this rescue team, Team Canada specifically. If you are in Canada, the email address is right there that you can send your e-transfer to it. If you're having any difficulty during the process, the phone number right there for Mr. Thomas Bumbe, you can call that phone number, and we are more than happy to jump on the call and help you out in whatever little contribution, however small or big it is. We will highly appreciate it. Get on the line, send your contribution. If you are in the US and you want to make a contribution to Team Canada, the Cash App information is right there. The Zelle information is also right there. If you are on ground in Liberia, hey, we so much appreciate the effort that our Liberians are making. It is not easy to be on ground and still be able to contribute the little you can towards this process. You are doing it for yourself. You are doing it for our country. It is not what the country can do for you, but it is what you can do for your country. That is something that our leaders have missed. They have enriched themselves with the country's wealth, leaving the people poor and vulnerable. We have to change this mindset, and we can only do that by giving what we can to support the process. So if you're in Liberia, the SendWave information number is over there, especially for others. Maybe in Liberia, you can use that same number to be able to send your mobile money into that. It should be able to work. But if you're outside and you want to use SendWave, it's also right there. If you're in Australia, you're watching us and you want to be a part of this, hey, please use the pay ID that is over there for Australia, and you can be able to contribute. So on that note, we want to say thank you for watching us. And if you're going to watch this video after this, we more than we want to appreciate your time, and we encourage you to share. If you're in Canada here specifically, we want you to be able to call us on the number you see on your screen and join the conversation. Tomorrow evening, we're going to try again to come online and have another broadcast before the main event on Friday. The main event, like we said, is on Friday at 4 p.m. Alberta time, which will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard if you're in the East, in Ontario and in Quebec. So that will be the time, and we will be on Class Reloaded, as you see on the flyer. We will do our best. Call in, send your donation, so that together we can rescue this country. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Thomas and Chris. And on that note, we want to draw the curtain on this broadcast, and we will see you another time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Broke on 2023. We tire away your life.
Bukadensa,
They push killing us.
Bukadensa,
Corruption killing us.
Bukadensa,
You must go away a story.
Bukadensa,
But for they killing us.
Bukadensa,
This the people crying.
Bukadensa,
But for they killing us.
Bukadensa.